Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome to my hobby blog. Today we're doing a pretty small but very high quality haul today. I'm very excited for this. I finally got something that I have been desperate to get for months now, but I just could not justify the price, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm just knocking box sets out in terms of my wish list and my wants in terms of my long list of things I need to get. And box sets have really been setting me back because every time I buy an individual movie, 3 more movies pop up that I want to watch. So I decided to really go big in terms of quality. And so all of this are Orbitdvd releases, well, not releases, but these all came from Orbitdvd, which is actually a pretty local shop in Asheville, North Carolina. That's kind of down the road. It's about 3 or 4 hours away. I do plan on going there one day in person and maybe even doing a video of my visit. But without further ado, let's go into the 88 films. Not 88 movies that I bought, but the company 88 Films. I have a couple releases that I bought from them that I got in response to a recent movie that I watched called Drunken Master featuring Jackie Chan, and I watched the commentary track and really fucking enjoyed it. It was a total film history lesson for me, because I've always loved Jackie Chan, but after watching that movie with the commentary track on, it completely blew everything out of the water. I learned a lot, heard about a lot of different movies that he had done around the time of Drunken Master, which was his first big hit. But before he did that, there were 2 movies that he had done that I will be discussing, very shortly. The first one is his very first movie that he ever did in terms of as an actor, I believe. But he may have had a small role somewhere else, but this was his first feature-length movie. It's a sequel to a very classic martial arts film starring Bruce Lee. And this is this unofficial sequel called New Fist of Fury, starring Jackie Chan in his first role. This is a 1972 movie, I believe. Well, yeah, 1972, but they also have the 1976 cut of the movie, which I don't know anything about. I haven't seen this movie. I'm gonna go and try and get all his movies chronologically, just so I can kind of study the evolution of his acting and his stunts, because a big thing about Jackie Chan is that he always has to top himself. And that's something that they talk about in the commentary track, is that nowadays it's really hard for him to make a good movie anymore because he's done everything. He, around the 80s, 90s, he was at the top of his game. He was the #1 martial artist doing movies. And he was no longer competing with other people. He was competing with himself. So he would do great new ideas, such as Who Am I?, which is the movie I watched daily on VHS every day. Obviously, daily. But when I was growing up, and I loved Who Am I? He also did the Rush Hour series, but it all started here when he was playing the character that Bruce Lee plays in Fist of Fury. So I don't know anything about this movie aside from that this is the movie that really got Jackie Chan into his own movies, and no longer being the Bruce Lee replacement, because he was chosen as the next great big Chinese martial artist. Back in the 70s, when Bruce Lee died, they were kind of scrambling, trying to find somebody to replace, or at least succeed Bruce Lee. And Jackie Chan did this sequel, and ended up that he was really fucking funny, and people noticed that immediately and started casting him in his own movies, which leads me to my next movie. I didn't mean to have a whole Jackie Chan lecture here, but this next movie he did was the original Drunken Master movie. And this has the exact same cast as Drunken Master, and it was during the commentary track that I found out that this is like the original Drunken Master, but it was supposed to invoke Shaw Brothers titles, I believe. But the movie I'm talking about is 1978. That seems much later than I thought. Sure, we'll say 1978. The film is Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, which is kind of his first movie outside of the Bruce Lee sphere. He played the character Wong Fei Hung, I believe, in this film, which Wong Fei Hung, if you don't know, is a very famous folktale character in Chinese, I guess, culture. It's kind of like our Paul Bunyan or somebody like that. One of the people on the commentary track was trying to find a great metaphor or analogy for an American to kind of understand who Wong Fei Hung was. But this was the first movie that he played as Wong Fei Hung, and it ended up that he had a knack for humor. He's a very physical... Sorry, I just saw a detail on the box art that I love. But apparently, people didn't really view him as a humorous person. And Jackie Chan is very funny. He has a talent for making amazing sequences that are hilarious and also very brutal in terms of the physicality of what he's doing. But the detail that I was kind of smiling at is this little kitty here that is kind of like screaming. I do love my cats, so I'm gonna forever love this cover. But you can see that the old man here, he's a very classic actor from Chinese cinema, at least that I've heard from the audio commentary track. He played the original Wong Fei Hung because there was a sequence of films from 1949, I think, all the way to the 70s, basically until this movie. Actually, it would be this movie. He played Wong Fei Hung, and he played, like, I don't know, like 40 movies as that character, and he was so well-known and well-founded as the guy who plays Wong Fei Hung that people just started calling him Wong, you know, because he was just such a great actor. So he got hired on to do this movie, and they had a new guy named Jackie Chan who was playing it. And Jackie Chan went the total opposite direction because Wong Fei Hung has always been portrayed as a somber, soft-spoken figure. Jackie Chan was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do something totally different. I am my own person. I want to do my own thing. So he went the humorous route. And I heard that this movie is really funny, and this is what just broke him out of obscurity, basically, and got him to do Drunken Master, which has the same cast, the same director, everything, but had a higher budget. So I'm really excited to check this out. I am on a Jackie Chan binge right now, just rewatching all his movies, exploring new movies that I haven't seen. And by new, I don't mean like recent released, but more movies I never heard of and don't know. Which brings us to the final movie from 88 Films that I got. This is a very chunky release. I did not realize how thick this was. I was concerned when I got my box because I was like, this is much heavier. And the box set that I got right here, it's not that heavy. It's not heavy enough. And it was when I opened it and I saw how thick this release was. It's another Jackie Chan movie. It's a limited edition, 88 Films. I absolutely love 88 films. They have been completely taken over my spending habits in terms of movies. This is a recent one that just came out, but it is Jackie Chan. It is Armor of God. And it comes with the movie, a giant book, which I can't wait to read, and then a poster, just like Arrow Video does. But this movie is from 1986, so this is like when he was no longer competing with other people. He was just trying to top himself. And so I see here on the back that he has a whole vest of dynamite. And it also has it on the front here, but the fact that they show it twice means that it's going to be a pretty big sequence. I'm going to assume that's the final sequence, the final fight. I cannot wait to check this out. I had no idea that Jackie Chan was in this. I'm a pretty big Jackie Chan fan, but there's a lot of movies I did not know he was in. I went onto Orbit's website and just typed in Jackie Chan and just started adding all of these. And I ended up not getting all of the Jackie Chan releases by 88 Films because I was going to do that. And this is when I reveal my giant box set that I just got. I decided to finally get the box set that everybody owns, except for me. This is one that I have been desperate to get because there are, let me see here, I think 10 movies. 16, I believe. 12 movies. And I am talking about, I have to move aside to show this, but I got the Shaw Brothers Volume 1 on Blu-ray box set from Arrow Video. I did it. Everybody can stop telling me to get it. I finally have it. Again, I've been on a Jackie Chan binge. I have been learning a lot about Chinese cinema, going into the studios of Golden Harvest and Shaw Brothers. I haven't seen a single Shaw Brothers movie yet. That isn't a movie I saw over a decade ago on TV. All I know from this series is that these are the best of the best. Some of the movies that I have heard over and over again that are really good are Challenge of the Masters, Boxer from Shantung, Five Shaolin Masters, Mighty Peking Man, The Five Venoms, Heroes of the East, and I think Executioners from Shaolin. So there's 7 movies here out of the 12 that I already know of that I have heard many great things about. This is my next project. I just finished up the Star Trek series, which I just realized I never filmed a ranking of, so I'll do that probably tomorrow just so I can really think about it. Just to give a spoiler on future releases on this channel. But Shaw Brothers is my next big box set. I just finished Star Trek, which is a huge box set about this size. I did it. I finally bought it. I'm really excited for this. Everybody has been telling me to go get it, and I finally have it. And Volume 2, I think, is supposed to come out in June, is kind of what the rumors have been saying. It's obviously not coming out in April, I believe. They've announced up to April. Maybe May. But it is supposed to come out in the summer of this year. And one of the movies that they're going to have is 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. I think that's what the title is. I know 8 Diagram Pole is part of the title. I don't know about Fighter. But that just got a standalone release from 88 Films, I think. And so I'm excited. I need to finish this box set before getting Volume 2. So, excuse me, hiccups. So that is what I got. I'll show them again. It's not many, but again, I went for quality here. First one was Armor of God with Jackie Chan. The next one was Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, which is another Jackie Chan movie. And then the final Jackie Chan movie I got was New Fist of Fury, based off of the classic Bruce Lee film. And then the Shaw Brothers Shaw Scope Volume 1 box set. I hope they just release every movie ever from Shaw Brothers, even if they're bad. Just give them all to me. I've been really enjoying Chinese cinema lately. I was not expecting to kind of dive deep into the Chinese cinema, but it is a spot in film that I have a total blind spot for outside of Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.